You're about to hear the most informative, inspirational, persuasive show in America. The James A. Hendricks
Happy
School
Public
of
Affairs
Leadership.
Tuesday. Now, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be dealing with the Conservative Contention. And this one will be taking place all the way through early December. Okay? Just so you guys know. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this. Now, this Public Affairs Tuesday, Thursday, it's not an analysis of the news, unlike some of the other days. And there may be some days when I just don't talk about the news at all. And you're like, Jimmy, why? Well, those of you who listened to yesterday's program, you know very well that one reason why I suspended the podcast temporarily was because I was becoming a reactionary. And a reactionary is somebody that I don't want to become. Now, speaking of react, I'm going to respond to what's going on with the Trump indictment and the delay for March trial. Can I be honest with you? Part of me thinks it's not going to happen. I think anymore in politics, it's like a show. And it shouldn't be. I'm also going to give my listeners an assignment. I want you to either get a hold of a paper copy of the Federalist Papers somehow, or I want you to download the Federalist Papers on your phone and read them for yourselves, okay? Please do that. Because you're going to learn, really, the wisdom behind some of the founding fathers who formed the Constitution. People say, particularly like Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, two people on different sides of the political aisle, but they both agreed about the nature of the Constitution. They might not have necessarily totally agreed at the time, but they agreed and worked together and agreed to disagree. Something which is sadly missing in our American culture. And why? Because of our distractive, defiant, degenerate culture. I gotta be honest with you. I can hardly watch the news anymore without being discouraged. And that is not something I want to purvey to be. Anyway, the American Federalist Contention. And this is the contention from the 21st century, okay? It's not from the founding. It's some of the principles from the founding, but in some ways, not. It's an arch conservative thinking. Okay? Maximum fair market. That's something that we firmly believe with. That's what I'm going to be going through next Thursday. Tuesday the 5th, after Labor Day, economic growth and capitalism. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering limited government. These different platforms like that. But at the same time, read the Federalist Papers on your own and come to your own conclusions. We may not discuss those unless I see that there's a topic that needs to be understood. Now, background. These papers were written by farmers in upstate New York and by a landowner in Virginia. Let me make double sure. These were like lawyers and landowners Okay? Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay. Some of you probably know Alexander Hamilton, no doubt from the musical. And I'm not saying that the musical is bad per se, but it's from more of a liberal ideology. It gives a good history of Hamilton, but it's kind of, I don't know, distorted. That being said, these were all good men. Maybe they didn't necessarily agree on every point, but they all agreed about what the proper function of government is supposed to be. All three of these people, as far as I'm concerned, are beloved figures. Alexander Hamilton. Let me tell you something. He's dearly beloved. I think on both sides of the aisle, and that's okay. He's one of our founding fathers. James Madison is known as the father of the Constitution. I don't know how many of you guys knew that, but I learned that in Christian school in the 5th grade, and I thought that was wonderful. John Jay, first Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, didn't I tell you something? People with intelligence enough to tell you what needs to be done regarding this country. Now, I'm talking about the American Federalist Contention. Listen to this. I may vote a certain way in Texas, but nationally, because I'm disappointed with both parties, I consider myself a conservative Federalist. And why? Because sadly, there was a corrupt influence in both parties. Kind of like a former friend of mine said that they're working in cahoots together. Yeah, I believe that. Anymore, I believe that. You know, 30 years ago, you used to be able to sit down and have an honest disagreement. Back in those days, sadly, I had endorsed Clinton. I voted for Clinton, and had a friend back in college named Brad who's trying to convince me, that Clinton was wrong. And you couldn't convince me until I saw the warning lines, the warning signs. Increased taxes. Gays in the military. And I thought, wait a minute. We got problems in this country. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I don't hate gays. I've known several in my life. Many of them can be loving, normal, well-adjusted people. But I just believe that the lifestyle is wrong. And I know, I had a friend that was liberal and says, well, if you say you don't hate somebody, it means that you hate them. Well, a lot of liberals say that, and I don't know. Once again, in politics, this is one thing I learned from political science. It's all about wordplay. The BS meter, which, fall 2024, guess what? I'm going to be checking the BS meter to see who's doing it. And you know what? I'm going to be fair. I don't care what party it is. Because the one thing my political science training has taught me is when I'm analyzing someone's speech, I'm going to put my ideology to the door. And some of you say, but Jimmy, that's not fair. It's not fair. But let me ask you something. Is American journalism fair? Is it objective? If you think it is, you're in a dream world. I'm trying to be an objective source of hope. And 2 weeks ago, guys, I felt like I failed you. And for that, let me tell you something. For that, I'm deeply sorry. I'm deeply sorry that I failed my audience. But at least I'm willing to come clean and try again. It happens. You get saturated in politics too much. Then what happens is you start to get depressed. I want to give you guys kind of a warning sign also. Beginning November 14th, I'm also going to be, if I go through, I'm also going to be suspending any talks of on politics. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going on the air. I will. But I'm going to take a break Wednesday and Thursday of Thanksgiving, and Friday, and come back on the Monday after Thanksgiving. I'm not giving up on you guys. I care about you guys. Any one of you. If you ask me if the weather is, not blazing hot, but say in the lower 80s or 70s, say in the morning or something, you want to play around the golf? Or even if it's an indoor golf ring, you want to play around with golf with me? Yeah, I'm blind, but I'll tell you something. I love golf. I love golf. And we go, here we go again, the sports nuts. No, I'm not a sports nut. I'm not a sport enthusiast. The only one I'm interested in is college football and Recum Tech, if you know what I mean. Why do you think that the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership will always be loyal to Texas Tech, no matter where I live? I'm considering sometime in the future, not sure when, but sometime in the future, moving to Utah. But even if I move, my loyalty is always going to be with Texas Tech. Because that's where I learned a lot from there. Now, I digress. The American Contention. The American Federalist Contention. I want you to think about it. Maximum feared markets. Economic growth. Limited government. Negotiating peace through strength. And this can be through business or diplomacy. It doesn't really matter. I may do it more from a business perspective, to be honest with you. And several other things. Guys, I do this because I care about you. And I do this because I think it's important you know where I stand. I want you to know this is the American Conservative Contention. Hope you enjoy listening to the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to become a part of the James A. Hendricks School of Leadership classroom. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, keep up the hope. Keep up the faith. And I want you to, there's a mantra I chant sometimes when I'm upset. And that says, Jesus saves and I'm okay. So, Jesus saves and we're all going to be okay. Take care and be proactively informed. And remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Jimmy loves you. I really love you.